Hey everybody, Steven here, and for today's video I'm going to cover kind of part one of a ankle stability series that I'm going to be doing. These are all kind of the intro exercises and stability exercises that I do with clients that are coming off of maybe an ankle sprain or maybe even a break and it's been a while. I want you to make sure that you are out of the acute state, meaning there's not any inflammation, your ankle isn't swollen, right? You've gone to physical therapy or the chiropractor, the doctor. You've kind of pulled out of that and now you are ready to do some movement. So we're just gonna have three for this video. The first one that we're gonna do is the alphabet. And if you've gone through physical therapy, you've most likely done this. If you're just wanting to work on ankle stability, maybe you play sports or something like that, this will be a new one for you. Very, very simple. All you do is, and I'm gonna show you some scales for it, but I'll bring my foot forward and I'm simply just outlining the alphabet, right? A, B, nice and controlled, C, D. Twofold with this one if I'm standing. One is my other ankle actually has to stabilize me as I hold my leg up, right? That would be the most basic form of ankle stability, was balancing on one leg. How long can I go on this one leg, right? Whether my foot's in front of me or behind me, right? I can even move my foot in different areas, right? And that requires stability here. For some people that might be too much, but this is kind of taking that simple movement and going a step further, and that now not only am I gonna have stability here, I'm gonna have movement with this one, right? So I'm gonna be doing something. If you can't get all the way through the alphabet, take note of where you actually ended up, right? I ended up at O, okay? Then next time I either want to match that, or maybe in a couple weeks or after a couple times going through this, I want to improve that and get farther on in the alphabet. Now, let's say standing is a little bit difficult. I could use the wall as a light assist. I don't want to make it so that I'm leaning all of my weight on this and that ankle isn't doing anything. Or if I needed to even take that out of that, I would simply actually just come to the ground, right? I could lean here. I could do it with my foot propped, right? So now I'm doing it here, so it is supported, and it really is more about just getting that movement in that ankle. Or I could bring it up and then I could outline it here. The only thing with this is, as I lift up, the front of my hip is going to have to hold this up, so that could actually get taxing on that, okay? So there's some variations or some progressions that you can do with that alphabet there, making sure that I'm doing it with both ankles. With clients, I will work more on the ankle that is coming out of that injury or the one that is the less stable, but I will still work with both. I want to make sure that even though I am concentrating a little bit more on the one ankle, that I'm still going to kind of make sure that the other one's getting some strength, just because I don't want that one to end up getting weaker overall in the long term, okay? So we have that first. The next thing that you're going to do is called a lateral step over. So essentially imagine that I have a wall here and I'm stepping over that. Now, if it makes it easier for you to actually step over something, you can do that. If not, just make sure that you are lifting up your leg. What I'll usually see is people kind of go like this, and they'll bring it back like that. Well, I would have clipped that wall, right? I want to make sure that I'm actually lifting up. So I'm a MoveNat certified trainer, which is Natural Movement Skills. We utilize this in MoveNat, and it's great for ankle stability. I'm going to use some terminology with that though. Right now, both of my feet, I have 2 points of support, right? And it's kind of 50-50. Hopefully I'm not leaning towards one leg, right? 50-50. If I lift up one leg, it's 100, nothing, and I have 1 point of support, which is this ankle or this foot right here. So this is the one that's doing all of the work right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm 50-50, I lift up, I'll rotate out, I'm going to put my foot out, I come down toe first, because I want to, basically, this is like a tactile cue that we use so that I can feel, is that surface secure, right? If it's not, and I've already basically committed to my heel going down, I can't pull that back. I usually tell my clients, I want to be able to say, hey, stop. And okay, whoa, go, and then, right? Making it so that they have complete control. What I see a lot of is like falling, boom, and then they'll lean and then they just kind of pull their foot back like this. We want control. That stability that you want with the ankle, you're gonna get that by focusing and slowing everything down and working on the control aspect of the movements that we're doing, okay? So here, I rotate out. I'm going to create a new point of support, right? Rotate out, come out, Right now it's still very much 100-0. But then I know that's secure, I put my heel down, I'm gonna lean, I'm gonna do a body weight shift onto this. Now I have about 80-20 or maybe 70-30, right? I'm leaning my weight here, and then I'm gonna lean back, switch that up. 80 on this leg, 20 over here, or 70 on this leg, 30 over here, right? And then that allows me to pick up, come up high, and pull over. Now, like I said, usually what I'll see is somebody like falls, and especially coming back, they don't even lift up. They just go like this, and they place it right back, right? Control, get that hip high, right? Shift up and over, okay? Good thing is we're not only working on the ankle stability, you're actually warming up your hip. So especially if you play sports, this is a good way to warm up the hip, okay? For that, I'm usually gonna do about 5 to 10 per side, okay? Because then I would come to the other side, coming around here, lean back, pick up, pull over, okay? Light assist if I needed it, right? Stay close to maybe a wall or a countertop that I can kind of hold on to, right? So that as I rotate out, especially as I come back, this is where I'll see people like tip, right? I could use that if I need it. It's here, secured, okay? So 5 to 10 per side. And then after that, what you're actually gonna need is a towel, okay? Or if you have it, I have a hacky sack. Hacky sack works a lot better. And eventually I'll do some videos covering why I like using the hacky sack, just for overall movement. But hand towel will work. You want it bunched up, okay? And essentially what you're gonna do is you're gonna pick it up and you're gonna place it somewhere. So you have to actually work on sprawling those toes out, okay? Katie Bowman talks about it a lot. She was a biomechanist. I'll put a couple links to some of her books. Her foot pain book, I think it's called. Very, very, very good book on why strengthening your feet is so important. A lot of people wear very, very tight shoes. It's actually smashing their foot, so it doesn't allow those toes to sprawl out. If my foot has more surface area in contact with the ground, I'm just gonna be more stable, right? If my foot is stronger, I will be more stable because that's gonna go all upstream from that. We call your feet your roots, right? And if those are weak, or if they're on, for instance, like a high raised heel shoe, right? You've seen it. Females that wear high heels, less stable, right? They're gonna fall a lot more. And because of that, you're not gonna have it so that they're falling up higher necessarily. It's the ankle that's buckling, that's giving out on them, right? So we wanna strengthen the foot so that that strength transfers up to the ankle, up to the knee, to the hip, goes all the way up, okay? But working on just that spread is where you might be right now. Can you take, just like I take my hand and I sprawl my hand out like that and bring it together, can you do that with your foot? Can I sprawl my toes out and push them to the floor and then let them come back together? Pick my toes up, sprawl them all out, push them to the floor, and then come back together. If that is the case, you're just doing 10 to 20 per foot, right? That might be where you're at. And you'll feel that, just like my hand, I can feel all of that, right? As those muscles are pulling those apart, right? We call them digits, right? As they're pulling my digits apart, my fingers apart, you'll feel the same thing. You'll feel that straight, not only stretch, but strength in your foot. Boom, it's pulling that apart. You're gonna need that here, because I need to pull my foot apart so that I can actually grab this towel, lift up, pull over, place down, right? Grab it again, pull up, pull over. I have to curl those toes underneath to grab this, just like I would with my hand, right? And place it over. If you're gonna do that, we're really just gonna work on about 5, right? 5 is gonna be pretty intense. If you wanna push towards 10, that's fine. If you have something small and circular that has a little bit of give to it, right? It's not firm, like this hacky sack here. I think it actually works a little bit better because I can actually grip it like I would baseball or something like that. I could grab this with my middle foot, grab that in like that, pull over, place, grab, pick up, pull over. So I'm doing it in that lateral sense, right? That's why we did the lateral step over first, because I'm transferring that over. For some people too, maybe you're not even there. Maybe it's just like, hey, can I grip this and basically pick this thing up, right? Can I pick pick it up, place it down, kind of lift it up like that, place it down, kind of just hold it and let it go, right? Grip it, let it go. So that might be where you're at, that's fine. Same thing, 5 to 10 times, okay? And just working on that, using that strength in that foot to actually grab that, okay? Over time it will get better. Eventually we'll start talking about kind of lifting the toes up and working on all of that, but you do have to think of this as not only just trying to work on the stability of the ankle, strengthen your foot, right? Easiest way you can do that is switch towards the minimal shoes, which is my recommendation, which I have a couple of reviews of those on my YouTube channel that I love. Vivo Barefoot, New Balance Minimus. I'm using the Vapor Glove Trail 3s right now. Those are pretty good. And walking barefoot, right? It is a transitionary process. It's not something that you just take off your shoes and immediately go do that. Your feet are going to hurt. And I go into more detail in my reviews for those shoes as to why that's important and what's going on with that. You can watch one of those for those details. But the kind of quickest explanation is the foot is weak. You've put it in a cast. We've taken the cast off. It's going to be weak. If I had a cast on my arm, I'm not going to take the cast off and go arm wrestle. I have to strengthen that arm a little bit before I go do certain activities, right? Slowly do that stuff that you're wanting to do. Walking without shoes, working out, whatever it is, and then over time as it gets stronger, then you can do certain things, okay? So this has been part 1. If you like the video, hit the like button for me. In terms of how many rounds I might go through, 1 to 2, right? That's it. I'm good with the 1 to 2. But I'm gonna do it a couple times a week initially, and then we'll taper off from there. In a couple weeks, I'll have the second part where I'm gonna cover some of the more in-depth movements with this, where we're going to kind of progress to more strenuous exercises, so you can have that progression, and as you ramp up, we're going to get into more just like overall balance stuff that's really, really good for the ankles. But hit the like button for me. If you want to continue to follow along, hit the subscribe button for me. If there's anything that you want to see, let me know. That way I can help kind of write down and jot down all these different videos that I'm trying to pump out for you guys. If you have any questions on anything either too, just hit me up on the comment section. Let me know if something didn't make sense, if I need to explain something more, if I need to make another video separate that would just explain that one thing. I will make sure that I get to that as well. So do your exercises for me, and I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Check back soon for part 2.